Now, the Mombasa County government has suspended the tuk-tuk registration in a move to decongest the area, the situation, and also pollution, and manage the levels of tuk-tuk operations in the county. And now joining us just to give us an update of that is Francis Mtalaki. Francis, what are some of the reactions we're getting from this suspension?
Well, good afternoon, Ashley. And the reactions seems to be coming from both sides, given that where I'm standing, where you can be able to see, this is one of the tuk-tuks that are used by the residents of Mombasa for commuting, basically. And this is a culture that many would say here in Mombasa is appreciated by so many quarters. And given that where I'm standing, this is a new tuk-tuk, but it cannot be registered, given that the county government of Mombasa has issued a ban that is now ongoing, and some of the industry players are crying that their business has been suspended or has been affected, given the move by the county government of Mombasa, saying that they're trying to decongest the city of Mombasa, but largely looking at what has been happening in the city of Mombasa. This is a means of transport that the residents and the tourists usually use to be able to move to different parts of this CBD. And I want to bring in Mr. Chege so that he can be able to talk to us. Can you welcome and to speak to us and tell us the move by the county government of Mombasa, how has it affected your business?
In one way, I would say it has affected us in a very big way in terms of our economic performance. And if this is not going to be addressed in the near future, it means we'll have massive job losses. Because you can see, as General, one of our big business is a tuk-tuk sector. And this business has employed over 80 staff in Mombasa branch to do both assembly, servicing, and even sales of these units. If the county ban continues, that means these staff have no jobs to do. So it is a really bad thing for Mombasa County and again for General, seeing that young people who are looking for employment are likely to lose jobs simply because of a ban that we didn't expect. And again, we've tried so many ways to talk with the county government, and they've not been able to give us an audience to talk with them regarding this ban. So it's quite a very big blow for the investors in Mombasa, and also again for young people who might possibly lose employment because of such, I would say, not a very good ban for these tuk-tuks.
But maybe you would appreciate that there's so many tuk-tuks here in Mombasa. Possibly you can give us the statistics in terms of the numbers, given that the county government of Mombasa says that there's so many tuk-tuks that are causing congestion, and also some of them are not following the law. And thirdly, they're also accusing, saying that you're also creating a lot of pollution.
Okay, one would want to dispute. Tuk-tuks are not in unmanageable numbers. Mombasa has only about 4,000 tuk-tuks that are running on the road. What normally happens for this tuk-tuk, its lifespan is not more than 3 or 4 years. So whenever you buy a tuk-tuk, within 3 or 4 years, it gets out of the road to other old markets. So currently what we have in Mombasa is about 4,000 units. And again, this is a matter of demand and supply. Whoever buys a tuk-tuk, they don't buy under duress. They buy because the tuk-tuk is making economic sense for them. So whenever somebody buys a tuk-tuk and there's a market for him, he or she will also find the need to add any other extra units. So for now, if you look at Mombasa, even numbers are growing. Some years back, we only had one university in Mombasa. Right now, we have more than 6 companies within Mombasa town. The numbers are also growing. And this means the demand for the tuk-tuk is there. The demand for employment is there. So they have not gone to a number whereby you can say they're unmanageable. The owners are getting their revenue. The drivers are getting their revenue, and there are so many other guys who benefit from these tuk-tuks. So it is still a very big ocean for many of these numbers to go in the market.
Of course, this is a tourist attraction city, and possibly one of the means that tourists love the tuk-tuks. Is this going to be affected?
Very true, because even at our main customers or the guys who normally ride on these tuk-tuks are the tourists, simply because they're able to move from one point to another with very minimal spending. Because again, you find a tuk-tuk, the least you can spend on a transport is about $1. Even for the local people, we call them as a door-to-door means of movement. for the mamas in Kibokoni area, for the ladies in Kisauni, for others in Majengo. When they want to go for shopping with their families, they board a tuk-tuk and they pay little money to enable them come from point A to point B. And again, it is able to take you even to your doorstep. So these are best and the most acceptable means of transport within Mombasa County. And for the tourists, when they come here, it is a very different thing from their own countries. When back in Germany, back in UK, they don't have such facilities. When they come to Kenya, when they want to sample something different, they find tuk-tuk as another thing that they want to sample, which they never see in so many other countries. So for tourists to be a very big hit, simply because they love the ride. Mombasa is hot, this sky is very open, so there's very good air circulation.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace Chege. And now let me have Mr. Shah, so that I want you to paint the picture in terms of the importation. How has this affected maybe your business in terms of importing the new tuk-tuks? And given that this is a new move that the county government has just implemented, how has it affected your business?
It has affected us very negatively in the sense that we had to reduce our imports, first of all, but we already had goods in our warehouses on the seas, and we could not cancel those orders. So right now we have a stock of close to 400 to 500 vehicles just lying around since January. We can't dispose them to our clients, we can't supply to anyone, and it has affected us very negatively. And we are paying storage charges, we are paying all the other charges, and it is just going to waste. And we have been trying to have a kind of a dialogue with the county government. We've been visiting their offices regularly to meet the seniors and try and have a dialogue, but all our pleas are falling on deaf ears and no one's assisting us. So,
and when we talk about the ban now, and given that this is one of the key economic drivers for this city in terms of transport, what would you say in terms of what the county government is saying that you are creating pollution and congestion?
Regarding pollution and congestion, the congestion is not only created by tuk-tuks. In fact, tuk-tuks are such small vehicles and they are being used to carry passengers or goods from here to there, and generally they don't create any jams. For jams, there are buses, there are lorries, there are small saloon cars. Everyone is using the road at the same time. So only tuk-tuks cannot be blamed for congestion or jams. Regarding pollution, we have implemented so many improvements in our products with all the three dealers. Our noise reduction has gone down. Our smoke issues have been addressed, and we have improved our products so much. Today, even if you find on the roads, you would hardly find any vehicles that are producing any smoke. Apart from these matatus, buses, if you compare it to them, we are not to be blamed at all. We have improved our products quite tremendously.
One would wonder what next for these tuk-tuks sitting here, and you have not registered them, so that means no clients.
Yes. We would still like to have a dialogue and still try and come to terms that with the county government and address the problem collectively rather than fighting them or arguing with them. We don't want to do that. And we've been trying that, but all our pleas are falling on deaf ears, and we hope the county government tries and reverses this ban so we can at least continue doing business. Otherwise, there'll be so many job losses. The economy will be affected as well. And it's a chain reaction. It's a chain cycle that affects everyone. Yes.
Okay, welcome. Maybe lastly, you can tell us with regard to this ban, were you given a notice with regard to the ban that has just begun?
There was no notice which was given to us. We just woke up in the morning, and as we went to get our stickers, we were told no more registration.
What next for the industry now?
It's bleak because now from January, February, March, and now April, we're going to May. We cannot obviously sustain the losses we're incurring. The staff are idle, so we're waiting for them to uplift this ban, or else we lay down staff.
But the county government says that you guys are creating so much congestion and pollution.
No, I don't think that is true, because this is an industry. The transportation industry comprises matatus, buses, trucks. So that's why we say we want to make Mombasa Boundary. We need to come together, all of us, the matatu people, the bus people, the truck people, the tuk-tuk people, then we get a solution. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Well, Ashley, those are some of the sentiments from the key players here in terms of the tuk-tuk business here, and they are appealing for the county government of Mombasa so they can be able to have some more negotiation and continue with their business. Ashley.
Thank you, Francis Mtalaki, for that